Alright, today we are on the Engwe Engine Pro 2.0, which is a folding 20 by 4 inch fat tire e-bike with a very awesome paint color. Really nice overall bike. And this is the upgrade from the original Engine Pro. They've added more power to it, which makes this so much better. Instead of it being a 48 volt, this is a 52 volt, and it's got a 750 watt nominal motor that peaks at 1200 watts. Now it's got a 16 amp hour battery that's inside the frame down here. But right now I am just pedaling the bike as if it wasn't electric. We are on PAS 0. So if you needed to pedal home, you could definitely pedal this bike. It's not super heavy, and it feels pretty good. The screen's really nice and easy to see in bright daylight, which is nice to see. Not every display is this good. And it's colored. It's animated a little bit, and it does have a thumb throttle over here, and this is your menu selector. It does have a headlight and tail light. No turn signals on this one. And then it has trigger shifters right here on the right, which is really nice. A little bit of an upgrade. And it's full suspension. So you got front suspension, which are adjustable, and they have a preload on them. And then you have rear suspension, which is a linkage suspension. Now we're gonna start off with pedal assist 1 here. And we're gonna see what each speed is for each level. So pedal assist 1, we're getting 16 miles an hour. Pedal assist 2, about 21 miles per hour. Now this has a torque sensor, so your pedal assist levels are a little bit different than a standard cadence sensor bike, because it all depends on how much power you put into it, how fast the motor works. But it should be limited to a certain speed, so pedal assist 3, we're about 24 miles an hour. Looks like pedal assist 4's topping out right about 25 miles an hour. Now we're gonna get the top speed with pedal assist 5, and we are on a torque sensor. And I felt the motor cut out there, but it's about 28 miles an hour on their display where it cuts out. And since the display is not 100% accurate, you're really only getting about a top speed of 25, 26 on GPS. Yeah, see, you can definitely hear it in the video too, I bet. And it not only cuts off, it cuts off and stays off for a little bit. And you can see there's a bunch of flooding. We've been getting a ton of rain. It has been super hot, so I haven't been able to ride. Luckily it cooled off a little bit today. I can make it out here and start finishing some of these bike rides. But it's actually a really nice bike to ride. The torque sensor makes it a little bit more enjoyable from a pedaling standpoint, because you're still going to get a little bit of exercise. Where a cadence sensor, you barely pedal it and it's going to give you full power as long as you're in the highest PAS level. This one, you can kind of limit how much power you give it, which makes riding this thing pretty fun. Alright, today we are reviewing the Engine Pro 2.0 by Engwe e-bikes. This is a 20 by 4 inch fat tire e-bike with a 750 watt nominal hub motor that peaks at 1200 watts. It does have a torque sensor, so that changes the ride just a little bit compared to your cadence sensor. And you'll see that today in the ride footage. Now this bike does have full suspension, so you have a rear linkage here, and you have a 1,000-pound shock here for the rear. and that might be a little bit too much, so you could probably upgrade that to something else to make it a little bit of a softer ride. It is a folding e-bike, so the pedals fold and the frame folds and the handlebars fold down. Now the first thing you're going to notice on this bike is the spectacular blue color that they have for the paint. This is called the Midnight Blue. All three colors are absolutely amazing, but I'm a sucker for blue and I really like this color. It even matches my Tesla really well. Now if we start off here on the back of the bike, you're going to see that it has a really nice beefy frame to give you a lot of capacity for cargo, and that comes in with a capacity of 20 kilograms, which is equivalent to 44 pounds of weight capacity for that rear rack. You're going to notice here that the blue color goes through with the fenders, and they got paint to match metal fenders here with the Engwe logo on the back. You'll see that, and these are really nice. It just really sets this bike off to have these paint to match fenders, especially with this color and any of the other colors that they have. It looks very nice. The rack also has the Engwe logo right here. You're going to see back here the 20 by 4 inch fat tires. These are Chow Yang. Now one thing I would definitely do when you get your bike is add some flat out to both of these tires so that you prevent flats when you're riding around. Fat tires are really prone to flats just because of how big they are, but you know, any rubber tire is going to be prone to flats. That's why I always suggest adding some flat out. And as we move to the back, we're going to see that this has a rear brake light and tail light as well as a front headlight, and I'll show you that in just a second. Now we got our hydraulic brakes here with 160 millimeter rotors. I really would have liked to have seen 180, but this does the job, and having hydraulic brakes really does make everything better in terms of performance and maintenance. Now back here is the rear hub motor. It is a 750 watt hub motor, the same as the Engine Pro, but this one peaks at 1200 watts compared to the last version that peaked at 1000 watts. So you're getting quite a bit of power, and this is also a 52 volt e-bike, so you got a 16 amp hour battery up here in the tube, and that is a 16 amp hour battery at 52 volts. And to get your bike ready to go, you have to put the key in, and this key stays in place. You have to have it on the on position, and you can't remove this key until you turn the bike off. So we'll go through the folding process and removing this later. Over here on the chain side, we have a really nice Shimano Altus derailleur, which is a nice step up from the standard Tourney Shimano derailleur. Very nice to see that. That makes shifting a lot better. Plus you get the trigger shifters with the Shimano Altus, which is very nice. Got your chain ring, which is double walled, and that prevents the chain from popping off. Here is the pedals. They are metal and they do fold, so when you fold the bike you can also fold these pedals. And to fold the pedals, you just push in and twist, and then there you go, and then just pull on them and they go back in place. Now you do have a pretty nice comfortable seat. It's actually got quite a bit of cushion. It's not real wide, but I think it's a very nice option. And then it's got some stitch lines around here, which kind of makes it look a little fancy. So you got your matte blue color with the glossy black lines here that are kind of like arrows pointing forward. That just really looks nice with this paint scheme. I really like that. You got Engwe down here on the shocks, and then you have your 20 by 4 inch mag wheels on the front and back, which is nice to see. Here's your headlight. Not super bright during night, but it's nice that they give you one for visibility. You can always add a second headlight for that. And this frame design here is just really different up here by the stem. So you got like a indentation here. This is a hole that's cut out, and it runs from the top to the bottom. It's just got this really different shape to the front of the bike here, and then it flattens out right here, so it's a little rounded, but kind of like a square flat part right here with the Engwe logo that's in gloss black. Now moving up to the dash, we have some ergonomic handlebar grips which are locking. They're pretty comfortable. They're a rubber material, and they got a really nice grip to them, and nice to see that they're starting to put some better handlebar grips on these bikes, so you don't have to go out and buy those separately. You got your hydraulic levers here, which are great and they work well. I do not see a brand name on these, but they are very similar to Tektro, so they should be pretty similar in performance. You got your remote control here for the screen, so you push and hold this button to turn the screen on. Now this is pretty bright out here today, so you might not be able to see that clearly on this camera. I will show you the screen a little bit better in the garage once we get under the garage lighting. You do have a thumb throttle, which in PAS 0 it does not work, and underneath here you have a horn, which is just a digital horn. It's not super loud, but I think it's like a happy medium. If you were to ride this bike on a bike trail, you could still use that. Plus it's kind of loud enough for a car to hear, most likely. But I do like the thumb throttle being on the left hand side. Some companies put them on the right, but this, when you have the trigger shifters, the left hand throttle just works better. And you do have the Shimano Altus derailleur, so you get this cool trigger shifter, which to go up in gears you push this, and to go down you pull the trigger on the back. Since you got the thumb throttle over here on the left, you have a full size grip on the right, which is nice. I like that. You have your odometer here, and we have 31 on the odometer. So if you hit this button on the top right, that'll take you through your different settings. The bottom one will turn on the headlight and tail light. The middle one just is a power button to turn it on and off, turn the bike on and off, and then plus and minus will go through your PAS levels. Now you can get in the settings, and you do that by hitting the plus and minus. Now inside the manual that you get with this bike, it does tell you all about the PAS levels, so I'm not going to go through them today. You can change the wheel diameter, so maybe you can fix that top speed issue that I'm having. So P8 on this screen, that's how you adjust the top speed, just so you know. We have ours set at the max of 63 miles an hour. To go back to the main screen, you just push and hold this bottom side button, and that saves everything. But so far I like it. Definitely love the color. I think it's super sharp looking. Being able to fold your bike is always very convenient, to be able to travel with it wherever you want to go. And yeah, 52 volt this time around with a 1200 watt peak hub motor. Definitely got enough power to get you around. We're going to see how well it does at climbing hills with 75 Newton meters of torque. So we are going to take this for a hill climbing test now, which we're going to go up a 6% and 8% hill. If we graduate that, we're going to go to the 10%. I don't foresee us doing that when we do the hill climb, just because of the power that it has. It only has 75 Newton meters of torque, so you're not going to get a whole lot of hill climbing power out of this, but you should be able to do it with the gearing. It looks like it's set up pretty well, so we'll go out there and test that next. If you guys are interested in picking up a Engwe Engine Pro 2.0, I will have a link down in the top of the description where you can click on that link and make a purchase for this bike. If I have any coupon codes, I'll also leave those down below, so any purchase you make with my link does definitely directly help this channel and help us be able to create future videos with Engwe. So I really appreciate you guys that use my links when you purchase these bikes. And that's the Engine Pro 2.0 by Engwe. We're going to go take this out for a hill climbing test and see how well it performs there. The hill road. We're gonna go throttle only. All right, here we are on the hill climbing spot where we're gonna go up the 6% grade, throttle only, and then the next part on the same road is an 8% grade. I don't think we're gonna graduate to the 10% grade today with this bike, but we're gonna attempt the first hill, which right here is 6%, right next to this bus stop sign. And we are getting 13 miles per hour GPS. And then a little bit up this road here is the 8% grade. And I don't know if we'll make it, but we're definitely not making the 10% grade hill. Here we are getting ready to approach the 8% grade. And here it is, We are dropping all the way down to 9 miles an hour. Now let's turn around and go through the subdivision. Looks like they're already starting to build a home. Well, this is really close to my house, so kind of cool to see another neighborhood go in, another place to ride the bike. Doesn't look like it's going to be super big. Not a whole lot of room here to build. I don't know how much land they have, but phase 1 isn't super big. This might be the only phase. I don't know. It looks like they got another road going right here, and they're putting in utilities, so it looks like they're going to be putting more houses that way too. This will be a nice little quiet area for people to move to. Not sure about this hill though. I'd rather live on a flat road like I do. But yeah, the Engwe Engine Pro 2.0 is not the best hill climbing e-bike out there, but it's not really made for that. This is a commuter, something you're going to bring with you to the bike trail that are usually pretty flat. Riding around your neighborhood, things like that. If you don't have a whole lot of hills, then I think this would be a perfect e-bike for you. Now, I don't feel the rear suspension working too good. There's a little bit of suspension, you can kind of feel it, but not like the front. The front's very, very nice. Like I said, I think you could swap that spring out, put something a little bit softer than 1,000 pounds there. Maybe something like a 300 pound or 250 pound spring would be good for me. But that's all something you can upgrade in the future if you needed to. But yeah, a very comfortable ride. Me at 6'2", this feels very good as far as the stance and everything. You can kind of see on the screen as you're traveling, these little dash lines look like the road's moving. That's kind of a cool feature. And as you go faster, they fly through the screen faster. So when we slow down here, you'll see the lines kind of slow down as well. You can probably see that in the shady area. But yeah, the top speed with throttle only is 20 miles an hour, and there is absolutely no way you can change that. But this is what you get right out of the box. I always like to take my bikes out for the very first time just to see if there's any issues. So far, I don't see any issues with this bike. Engwe makes a solid bike. They got a lot of different options to choose from. They got some future models coming out. You can see that on their website. Make sure you hit that link down in the description if you decide to pick one up or you just want to look at their options. But that'll do it for the Engine Pro 2.0. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments. If you like this video, go hit that thumbs up. It really does help out the YouTube algorithm. Tell me what you think down in the comments as well. Is this a bike for you? Do you think it's appealing? I love the color. I think the performance is, you know, pretty average, but might be really good for a new e-bike rider. Not super powerful, but powerful enough to get you around without pedaling. I love you can fold this bike up. That always makes everything more convenient, especially if you don't have a bike rack. And speaking of bike racks, I got a bike rack coming soon that I'm going to be reviewing, another one. I'm still trying to decide if I want the single one or the dual one. I already have a dual bike rack. I don't know if I want another dual one or a single one. Single one would be easier for storage. I definitely am going to need to store this one because I don't necessarily need 2 bike racks, but I'm reviewing it, so wait for that video to come out soon. And that'll do it for this e-bike review. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.